gosh. It's a vinyl that y'all have to check out. I love this vinyl. So I'm down here kicking it. So I just had to say that. Thank you all for showing me support. You know, I enjoy what I do. I'm your girl Jackie G, aka Sports Chick. Let's talk about some good football, y'all. And yesterday, I stayed up late watching all of the game. My Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, they beat my other team, Colorado Buffaloes. And I mean, it was a pretty close match. You know, it was a very interesting game. You know, a lot of action, a lot of physicality. But we do have to give props to the Yellow Jackets. You know, they did what they needed to do to win. So the score was 27-20. You know, Haynes King, he went out there. He did what he needed to do. They had a lot of hiccups at the beginning. You know, they had a fumble. Well, they had 2 fumbles. And then they had an interception. But let me say, he most definitely redeemed himself. He sure did. And, you know, when it got to, I would say when it got close to the second quarter, that's when Yellow Jackets started making a move. When it comes to the running game, they have a lot of good guys on there who can really run the ball. And Jamal Haynes, he really was running his butt off. And I believe that's what really got Colorado tired. I believe that's what really got their defense tired, because they kept pacing and running that ball. And then, you know, Colorado, you know, we know prime time, he does have a new era. You know, all of his stars, they're gone. Travis Hunter, Shedeur. But I really don't want to take too much away from Buffalo. I mean, Buffaloes, you know, they really came out, you know, with a lot of energy at the beginning, you know. So, I mean, I thought they were going to go ahead and tear it up. I mean, because their defense was playing some real top-notch defense, forcing turnovers. I mean, they were really doing what they had to do. I had them all written down. I like to write my stuff down, you know. That's how I get down. When I get into the games, I get into it. Once when they forced a fumble, and then when you had Haynes King, when they hiked the ball, there was another fumble. But, you know, when Buffalo, when they scored that touchdown, we had Kaylin Taylor, number 20, scored that touchdown, 7-0. I said, okay, they smoking, baby. I mean, they smoking with some hot grease and good chicken wings like I had yesterday, y'all. I mean, because I was like, okay, they about to get ready to bust it open. And the crowd was so loud. I mean, you know, and the quarterback, Caden, the people can say what they want to say about Caden Salters. I feel like he did a good job. Yeah, he did overthrow some passes. He did underthrow some passes. But to me, he looked good. He was very mobile, versatile. He was able to get out the pocket. He was running like a running back, baby. So, you know, I know people say he kind of messed up, but hey, I felt like it was an overall team, you know, blame. You can't really blame him because he really did what all he can do. I mean, he got real good, strong arm. But the only thing I would like to see him do more is just be a little bit more accurate. And a lot of those passes, I would say a lot of those passes were catchable. They were catchable. Like Raylan Miller, he dropped that pass, and it was like on the 3rd down. That was real intricate, because if he caught that, they could went down there and score. A lot of plays you can look back and say, hey, some of the wide receivers did not catch like they needed to catch Nazem, because they felt like he wasted a lot of time, which he did when he ran to the side. I feel like maybe they should call timeout, give him time to readjust, and try to go down the field. But he had to force it. And it went in the touchdown area, in the touchdown zone. I believe that was still catchable. But I believe the wide receiver got kind of discouraged when he saw of Georgia Tech guys there. Because that ball came down, but he was already, he fell down to the ground. They do have to go back to the drawing board and see what they can do to iron out the deficiencies. You know, they need to iron out some of the shortcomings so they can be ready to play Delaware. Yeah, they will play Delaware next week. So, you know, I believe that's going to be a good one. But yeah, my top 3 teams, y'all, I'm going to keep it real. Georgia Bulldogs, #1. We got to stand up for our own team. And right now, they kicking butts right now. They kicking butts right now watching that game. And #2 will be Georgia Tech. And #3 will be Colorado Buffaloes. I'm still going to be rooting for them. Because I like Deion. And I've been following Deion for a mighty long time as a young girl. But yeah, Kaidon Salter, he threw for 159 yards, 1 touchdown. He was 17 for 28. And you had Haynes King pass for 143 yards and 1 interception. He was 13 for 20. Now, what I liked about Haynes King, he did not give up. You know, you saw he had a lot of, he was getting sacked. He was getting a lot of pressure on him, brought on him. But he kept driving. It looks like he was getting, like he was injured a little bit, like he was holding his arm a certain way, but he just kept driving because he's a veteran quarterback. Of course, he's a dual threat, but also he's a vet. So when you have a veteran quarterback against another quarterback who's not as experienced, you know, they always gonna come on top when you have a veteran elite quarterback. And we do have to give him a lot of props, because when he ran that touchdown in, when they only had, I believe they had like 50 seconds or less than a minute left, and he ran that ball in, baby. He looked like he was tired like a mug, but he said, hey, I got to do it. But yeah, back to the Buffaloes. I like Welch. He had 64 yards. He was very aggressive. Very accurate. He made sure he catches passes. He was looking good. Marion Miller had 39. But Joe Williams, I really like to see him get more involved, because they say he's real good. He can really run. He run real hard. I mean, they have some good running backs. But I feel like their defense had to step up more. They're going to have to step up more if they want to win games. You cannot have your opponents run all over you, including the quarterback. You have to bring more pressure. So I know they're going to go back to the drawing board. And then Georgia Tech. I mean, Georgia Tech, look, I mean, they struggled at the beginning. But hey, they redeemed themselves and they came and kept being consistent. They kept being consistent. So, and then you had Bailey Stockton for Georgia Tech, did an excellent job catching. And Jamal Haynes, like I said before, he's a beast. I mean, that brother can run. He can run real strong. Once again, before I get ready to go, I just want to just get my take on them. Price caught some yards. I like Price. But my favorite one so far is Welch. Micah Welch. That's my guy. I feel like he's really going to really stand out throughout the season. And I believe he's going to elevate Colorado, but they still have to work out some, you know, kinks. I mean, they really do have to go back to the drawing board and see what they can do to be more aggressive on the defensive side. Y'all drop y'all comments. But yeah, it was pretty good. It was a very interesting game. Very interesting game. I know Deion did mention that he would like to get Julian Lewis some reps. That's their other quarterback, which he didn't play because he wanted to have Kaidon Salter play because he was more seasoned. You know, he played for Liberty and he, you know, was more active. So You know, like I said, I'm still rooting for both teams. Of course, my Georgia Bulldogs and Georgia Tech, you know, that's our home team, so we do have to represent. And you know, I hope we get a ring soon from Georgia Bulldogs, Atlanta Falcons, or Atlanta Dream is pretty close. Atlanta Braves, I don't know, they still trying to scratch, they still trying to get it. But yeah, it's going to be a very exciting season. College, NFL, all around. It's going to be very exciting to see these young men get to work. And, you know, I will give you all some more updates on Colorado when they play Delaware. You know, I believe they're going to be pretty good this season. I mean, because when you go back, I like the way their offensive line helped up for Caden. You notice Caden did not get sacked. It's really going to be good. All right, y'all, I'm out. Let's go Buffaloes. Let's go Georgia Tech. Let's go Georgia Bulldogs. All right, let's go, y'all.